All right, so let's call the meeting to order at 3 o'clock exactly. The first item on the agenda is approval of minutes, and I do have some questions about it. So anybody else? Approval of the minutes? So the commissioner present on the minutes, it says Chair Ana Maria Velasco arrived at 5:07. It's a little bit misleading since I was at home with COVID and I was on the phone. So it's just clarification. Can you do that? I could just say.
Yeah, not a problem at all. I think.
To be accurate.
Yeah.
I wasn't late, I was there.
Sure.
But we were having.
Yeah, easy enough. We
Yeah. And then when it says call to order, approval of minutes, it says Velasco absent. I really wasn't absent. I was on the line.
Okay, yeah, and that's totally fine. We can just we'll modify the minutes.
Because it would be misleading to think I wasn't. I know it wasn't the best meeting. Remember, for me, it was really. I mean, it was actually like this on the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
And to hear you guys, so it was awful. But I was present.
Yeah, no
okay?
problem. We can adjust.
All right. So that was the only things I had for the. Oh yeah. So can we have a motion to approve the meeting? The minutes?
You just raise your hand if you want. All right, motion and a second. Yeah. Everyone in
Second.
favor? Everyone in favor, please raise your hand. All right. All opposed? All right. Motion passes 6-0.
Good. Done. Okay. C, new business. Center City Parkway Sculpture Project. So, Lynn and I and Patricia are on this committee. The first time we didn't meet because of COVID, and the second time was supposed to be on Friday. One of us was absent, and I didn't find out until too late on the same day, so otherwise I would have called you, Terry. But it was 2:30 on the day we were meeting that I didn't know we were not. So we haven't gone anywhere, but this is what I would like to discuss right now. This is the only time and place that we can be all together without, getting in trouble with the Brown Act. So some of you have ideas. We need to hear them here in this venue because we don't have any other way to do it. So I know you had mentioned you have some ideas. So think about it. If you have something you want to share, this is the time to do it right now, or you can bring it for the next one. But would anybody would like to say something or share something, ideas regarding the Center City Parkway Sculpture Project?
I would just like to express a thought. With the master plan coming up, I know we need to make some preliminary ideas, but as far as decisions, I don't think we should be in any hurry to do that because we only have a certain amount of money to use, and where it's spent and how it's spent, what effects it will have on the city as far as bang for the buck. I just think it would be wise to take it slow. So I think it's fine that we didn't meet, but we do need to meet after, or to firm a few things up, but not put anything in cement, I guess.
No, we're not at this point, but I believe the master plan is going to take a while. So that means we wouldn't be acting upon it for a while. But I don't see we have it on the budget at all. I don't think we have assigned any money to it at all.
That's what I was going to ask about.
We haven't, right?
There's a new project called Public Art Installation.
Yeah.
And that description was kept very general, just to be able to add any public art, whether that be monuments, not necessarily murals since we have a mural project, but mosaics, any other type of project throughout the city. So that fund would potentially cover this Center City project.
At least to get started, because if it's going to be sculptures, they are expensive, right? So we can get started. But so, question to the new commissioners: were you here? I can't remember when we voted on this, but it's been a while. Were you here when we gave a few slides to show you the pieces of art we were thinking of?
No.
I wish I had remembered that.
And also, I'm curious about when we're learning about the general plan, because it seems like that is controlling a lot of the other decisions.
So we can move forward with art throughout the city. Like murals are moving forward full steam ahead. So if we wanted to, we could move forward. The master planning process is starting. As a matter of fact, it's couple more down on our agenda this evening. So we'll be talking about getting a group of you guys together. You'll all be interviewed individually, but I do want 3 of you continually in the meetings that we're going to be having. And I am hoping that that meeting is going to happen probably next week sometime. So I think that whole process will probably take about a year. So we can, as we're working through that master planning process, we can concurrently, hopefully, bid out maybe this project, maybe some other projects, things like that. I think that they can happen concurrently. We don't have to wait for it to be 100% complete.
We can get started. Would you feel comfortable, Heidi, sharing some of your ideas you had for that? Remember the animal sculpture?
Oh, yeah. I might have mentioned this the last time, but there is a liquor store on the corner of El Norte and Broadway, and they recently dressed it up very nicely with giraffes, those metal sculptures that you see in the desert. And I thought, and a little succulent garden around it, and I thought, wow, that nice, looks nice now. It looked tawdry before. And what I was thinking was, we have the safari park, when I go, because I see here where, I promise I'm staying on point. When I go to the beach area and I see that we have the utility boxes on the agenda for decorating those, I see all kinds of sea and ocean motifs, but here we have the safari park. So that my idea is that we should, really emphasize that with our sculptures.
And commissioners, have you been in Vista downtown to see all the art? Remember I showed you a slideshow of the Paseo Santa Fe? We show slides of what they've done. Okay, so that's on the northern part of downtown. If you go to the, if you go to the southern part of downtown, they have amazingly beautiful sculptures of horses running, and they're made out of metal, and they're just exquisite. So I think we can start bringing ideas to this body of things that we are interested. The ones we thought of to start with are the sculptures that were not chosen by Fort Palomar Heights, that are absolutely beautiful too. And they already have a prototype. So basically they said this could be 14 feet high, they could be 3 feet. I mean, we can actually, so they're there. So how can I share that with the new commissioner? Send them a video or what?
Well, we can put it on the next agenda. If you wanted to do that.
Let's do that.
Okay.
And then in the meantime, if you guys have a day where you can go to Vista and they have everywhere sculptures, everywhere in downtown Vista, wherever you go, and it's just fabulous. And we can do the same. I don't see why not. Okay. Any other ideas?
So I just want to clarify, for the next agenda item, you want to show the Palomar Heights video? Okay. With the sculptures that, we can identify the sculptures that weren't selected for that project.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
So, okay.
Okay, I'm a little stuck on something, and you'll have to excuse me, but in my mind's eye, seeing the whole picture of who we are as a city, I think, again, using like the Wild Animal Park and other things that define us, it's exactly who we are, but it'll define and will let people visually know who we are, like the Wild Animal Park, like the Arts Center, Cruising Grand, and other things that I think and we'll talk about that. I'm sure that's part of the plan. Here is a public art master plan to brainstorm those ideas. And I think that is something I would like to see personally. And it's good to talk about it, because then whether what I say convinces someone else or what someone else convinces me that we need to, I think those are the kind of things we need to come together on as a unifying, setting a standard for the city.
As a community, right? I just want to add to that. Art can be abstract, doesn't have to reflect necessarily something that is real. And the sculptures that we're going to show you in December are all abstract art sculptures. Some of them with water, some of them without. So yeah, but I totally hear you, because what Patricia is saying in a way is that when people come to Escondido, they will see an identity. It will identify our city amongst many cities, and say, oh yeah, you go to Escondido, well, that city is known for, and then so on and so on and so on. So yeah, I hear you.
Anne Marie, and commissioners, I find that Escondido is so diverse and so many different cultures and so rich in history that I would like to see us advertise that more in our art. We now have growth in vineyards. We have our sculptures, our parks. We have the wild animal park. And this type of art that we could get from these could help advertise our town and also hopefully bring more tourists into our town. Mm-hmm. So for me, I would really like to see us advertise Escondido. And I think that's what sort of follows your suit, Patricia, in a way, that we have a rich culture, let's use that.
Nobody else has anything to add, so let's move on to utility box painting. And Danielle, I sent you some pictures on your phone.
Yes, I pulled some off of the internet, so I'll show you what I got here. So you guys asked to have the utility box painting project on the agenda for today. First, I just want to show you the policy. So we developed this plan a little while ago, actually, and I titled it Escondido Expressions, because I felt like, the utility boxes will all be unique. Some of them will express specific neighborhoods, if we have some in the flower streets, if we have some in Old Escondido. So I just liked that. If you don't like it, please let me know, and I can adjust that as necessary. But we do have a policy for the program, and there's just a couple things I want to point out. It does work similarly to the mural program, but not exactly. So there is the artists can apply through me, basically, just like a mural. We're offering a $100 stipend to them for reimbursement of materials. One thing we have written into this policy, which we do not on the mural, is a time frame. So we require them to be done the box within 30 days. Most people finish it in a weekend, but we just 30 days, nice round number. They can get that done. If something comes up in their life, it shouldn't be an issue. And then afterwards, the artist assumes full responsibility for maintenance of that box. So this is basically the policy. It talks about eligibility, how they apply, their reimbursement, what they can be reimbursed for, and then prepping and painting the utility box. So this is important. We got this from SDG&E. We want to make sure that they're not painting over anything. The box needs to remain accessible to Public Works. One thing I should say here, we're only promoting painting the city-owned traffic boxes, not the SDG&E electric boxes. And that is because it is a long and drawn-out process to get approval to paint on those boxes. So our boxes, we have control over, and we can approve these on a much more efficient basis. There's a whole nother application that they would have to go through if we decided to go with SDG&E. Now, if it's a huge success and we want to expand maybe someday, we could potentially do that, but I think what we have in the city will be sufficient. And that's actually where we got these standards for prepping and painting the box. And then just a quick little FAQ, can they paint more than one? The answer is yes, they have 30 days. Do they get to select their traffic box? They can ask if they can paint, if they want one out front of their house or if they want one in their neighborhood. They can certainly ask, and we will do our best to accommodate, but we may have to move them. We'll try to get the closest one to wherever they want to be. The review process will be very similar. The applications will be reviewed by the Public Art Commission and the Appearance Committee. And then this is the application. It's a quick application. We do have another thing, go back to note that we do prioritize residents and youth. So that's why you'll see on here, I am 18 years of age or older, yes or no, and then if not, their parents will have to sign and participate in the project. And then we ask them, it's not showing, there it is. We'll ask them for a diagram of what they're proposing to paint on all sides of the box, and then that is what you all and the Appearance Committee will review.
I have a question.
Yes.
Will the artists know from the fact that it's called Escondido Expressions that we're looking for something that reflects our town, or does it not have to reflect the town, or?
Let me see what we put in here. We did say, how did we word it? Let me see. I might have marked it on here. So what we said, well, staff are looking for quality, colorful artwork that celebrates Escondido, its history, or unique neighborhoods.
So they couldn't paint flowers, for example?
They could.
If they live in the street, the flower streets, that kind of stuff.
Again, it's just a guideline.
Yeah,
And it says, et cetera. We just want to, if we see something that, they want to paint a ballerina on the flower streets. We're not going to necessarily turn it down, of course, but we wanted to put some kind of guideline. So if it can relate back to the neighborhood, if it can relate, that would be great, but it's not necessary. It's not a requirement.
Yeah, I think we need to be open to creativity. Since I do love abstract art, I'm always pushing it because it has a place. So yeah. Another question I have for the money. So that would be reimbursed. What about if these are students and they need the money before? How do we do that?
So I think we can, similar to what we did with the mural program, we can advance maybe half of the money to them. And then if they exceed that $50, we can reimburse the rest on the reimbursement basis. I can rewrite that in there. We've been talking about that, which we were going to talk about a little bit later in the mural subcommittee, but talking with our artists, it's really hard for them to come up with the money from the get-go. So right now, we give them a third of the total, and then the other payments are reimbursed on reimbursement basis. And that's just has proven to be very challenging for them to come up with that money in between. So we're looking at rewriting that to maybe 50%, and then 25-25. And the only one that would be reimbursable would be, would come after the fact is the last 25% of the fee.
Right.
So yes, we are looking at changing that. We could potentially change that in here. That's not the way it's written now, obviously, but we could change that if that's what you would like to do.
I would like to propose that right now so we don't waste any time.
Sure.
Do we need to? Do we have to vote on that?
Yes, at the end, you can vote on that. You can pose a motion, right? And then you'll vote on it.
When?
At the end.
At the end of this item. At the end.
Okay.
So these are some examples that I pulled up of
Yeah.
some boxes that have been painted. Tried to get some variety here.
Danielle, will they have graffiti-proof stuff on them, or is that something?
I don't know. We will want that on ours. I do not know if these. I'm sure they probably do. I don't even know where these are. This was just a general search on the internet, so it's not like these are the ones from Vista. Vista has a very robust. It's called Vista in Bloom. They have a pretty big program of utility box painting, and we actually took a lot of our policy from their program. So that's it. I just pulled three pictures. There's a number of things that you can do. They're quick little art projects that just really, pop in a neighborhood. So we're excited to, I think, we'll get this on the internet. That's another thing that we're working on with the master plan is updating our website. We're also working with Visit Escondido to potentially bring some awareness to some of these things. So that's another avenue that we could probably advertise this program.
Do you need one of the commissioners to kind of help you lead this project or not?
Just get the word out that it's out there.
But how are you going to how are we going to communicate to the public?
We can do, we can put it on the website. We can do a public, a social media post like new program in Escondido, that kind of a thing. We can put it out to the schools, Peach Jar. We can put it out through there and see if there's any students that are interested.
Yeah. I don't want to put you on the spot, Terry, but I was going to ask you if you wanted to kind of lead this. You brought it up in the past, and you work with students. You've been an art teacher and all of that. I kind of see high school students and even younger, middle school kids. Remember you wanted that too?
Yes, I saw the guidelines, though, were for 18.
But
I don't know if that's inflexible.
yeah, in the application it says if they're younger, then the parents have to sign.
Parents have to sign.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind leading that. I do know it depends on weather. If it's too hot in Escondido, it's going to be very difficult to paint. Oh, I'm sorry. If it's too hot in Escondido, it's going to be very difficult for the paint to cure the right way. So sometimes, depending on the time of year, we may need more than the 30 days start to finish. And does that include the top coat?
Yes.
Yeah, so is there any flexibility on that?
Well, I think we would just, there could be, but my suggestion would just be to postpone the start date
Okay.
until a time, like maybe, we're recommending that you only paint January through June. July, August, September, those are October, those are our super hot months. So if that's an issue, maybe we just recommend a time frame for people to paint and we just push that back.
Yes, I think that would be an issue because if the paint is slightly wet and anybody touches it, it's destroyed the artwork. I don't mind leading it as long as I have another commissioner that's willing to be on it with me. I did bring 2 examples, actually. I don't know if you can project those from Little Italy, which just shows you bring the flavor of the community into painting the boxes. Okay, you can. Thank you. I really
would.
think it's, thank you. Good.
One question I had too is it said that the artist is responsible for maintaining the piece. Is that like in perpetuity or?
That is how it's written. For the life of the piece is really what it says. And then if at whatever point, if it fades, if it gets graffitied and it's just not, doesn't look good anymore, Public Works does have the ability to paint over that. We would obviously let the artist know in advance, and if they wanted to come touch it up or something like that, that would be fine. So we'll work with them, and we definitely wouldn't just paint over it without letting them know where, yeah.
These are just examples from Little Italy, and it just seems to fit. As you can see, they have had some graffiti, and apparently they don't have that top coat. You see the green? So that reminds me, yes, if it can happen, it's going to happen. So we've already put that in, that we want the anti-graffiti top coat.
Those are nice.
And, you know, we have like Hodges area, and like I said before, this is a great way to make our community come downtown.
That's Del Mar?
Beautiful.
No, Solana.
Yeah, those aren't,
Solana. The other
yeah. These are not examples I brought, but they're beautiful.
Yeah, you can put back those. These are extras.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are gorgeous. And we have a really good artist in Escondido. Ooh.
These are the ones that are from Little Italy.
Beautiful. Yeah. What is, oh my God, what is her name? She's exhibiting right now in the gallery. Thank you, Partnership Gallery. Okay, anyway, she did this for a private person, and she did an amazing job too. What's her name? I'm blanking, can't. Anyway, anything else on this topic?
I would also be interested in assisting, and I was wondering, when do you expect for the applications to open?
It's an ongoing application process, so anytime.
All right.
So we have 3 commissioners, Heidi and Natalie and Terry. Terry, you started this way back then, like a year or something. I can't remember when you. Yeah, whenever you joined us, you started talking about this. Okay. All right, let's move on to Public Art Master Plan. Are we done with that or not?
I think there was one point you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
make a vote on.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's the motion? I forgot.
To increase the payment to a payment in advance, a 50% payment in advance.
Okay, so can we have a motion on that?
I motion that we do that.
I second.
A second. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All right. Motion approved unanimously. Great.
That's the easiest way to do a motion. Whatever he said.
Yeah, yeah.
That. Yeah, and we didn't need to say anything about the money, right? Like having certain amount of money ahead. That's okay. We don't need to.
That's what you just voted.
Yeah,
So
that-
they'll get $50 in advance of starting the project, and then the other 50, if they exceed
Okay.
that, then they'll get reimbursed for the additional funds.
Okay. All right, Public Art Master Plan.
Okay, so the Public Art Master Plan is ready to go, and we are going to be starting our public meetings. You will all be involved at some point or another, but I wanted to kind of put a call out to you all. I'd like to have 3 commissioners that are in our regular meetings. I think we'll probably be meeting at least once a month with our consultant, if not more. And so I just wanted to see if we could get 3 commissioners on board to attend those meetings with me and with probably a couple of other city staff that are going to be involved. Okay? Commissioner Span?
Oh,
She's,
yeah.
Do you want to do it?
Would you like to do it?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, Commissioner Span, Commissioner Velasco, and Commissioner Paul? Okay.
and you're saying
We have
when?
an alternate.
Yeah.
I will, I'm talking with the representative today, actually. I was hoping I'd have a date for you. She's actually going to send me a few so that I can send them out and we can make sure that we can get as many people as possible. But again, those that aren't on the subcommittee, if you will, you will all be interviewed and all be part of this process throughout. It'll be about a year-long process, and we're just excited to finally get it moving and get our master plan underway. And I think we will be addressing a lot of the things that we're talking about here. So even the utility box, I think the mural policy is probably going to change, or evolve. I think the sculpture project, it's going to affect all of our projects. So bring all of your ideas to the meeting because we'll be identifying locations and types of art and all kinds of things. So it's an exciting process.
Are you interested in having an alternate in case somebody can't make a meeting?
I don't think it's that important. We'll be reporting out here. I don't think we need a minimum of 3 people. You know, I think it's fine. It's, if you would prefer that, but I think we're okay with just having the 3 people.
Yeah, but if one is absent, we could have an alternate. That's what she's saying.
Right.
I would like to have one,
Okay.
if that's okay with you guys. Yeah? Okay.
Do you prefer if I'm the alternate, or what do you prefer, Terry?
Being an alternate would be good.
Okay.
Are we done with item number 3?
Zach, do we need to vote on that?
No, that's sufficient.
Okay.
Your direction. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, number 4, Mural Zane.
Okay, we have a new mural coming. Let's see, it is on the Timekeeper building on Grand Avenue. Let me see if I can.
We're still with the,
My apologies. There we go.
it's very pretty, but yeah.
So this is over on the Timekeeper building. It's on the front, the store frontage is on Grand Avenue. Right, Grand? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Grand Avenue, and this is the parking lot for the Union Bank that's right next door. And that's the current mural that's there right now. And what is being proposed is this mural here. So he wasn't able to make the meeting today. The gentleman's name is Zane. He's an artist here in Escondido. He was actually one of the artists selected for the National Fitness Campaign fitness court that's over at the library. That wrap that's on there is his work. And I just got his application today, or like just before this meeting, or else I would have uploaded it and so that you could see it. But he's asking for $15,000 to create this mural. It will be, at one point I thought it was going to be color, but it will be black and white scale. It's 15 by 40 feet. He does have approval from the business owner. They've been working together for a few weeks, and he approves of the design. And then his hope is that people will come back like maybe on an annual basis, you know, as time goes by, and use this as like an Instagram or a photo opportunity for them. It will be graffiti coated, as we always require. And then I think that's probably about it. He'll be maintaining it. He's local, so that's good. Do you have any questions?
I have a comment. I do find that it seems the color tends to fade in with the palm trees.
Okay.
Would he be at all open to doing like just a light tint to the colors? Because I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I feel like I'm competing between the palm trees and the gray undertones.
What do you mean by color? Because he doesn't have color.
No, I was talking about, would he be open to doing a tinge color, which is a very light, diluted color, which wouldn't be bright. Apparently, his idea is to be more subtle. And so I'm just wondering if he would be open to doing a light wash so that it doesn't compete so much with the palm trees.
I think at the mural committee, what we said was that if he could enlarge the mural all the way to the line, there's a line where is that no parking?
Yeah, where the no parking sign is.
Is there no parking remain there? Can that be moved?
We can ask if it can be removed. I mean, the curb is painted red, but I don't know if there's a requirement to have a sign there as well.
Just move it a few feet so it's not there. Do you know if there's a reason why I hate to ask artists to do, why he's supposed to putting any color or more contrast so that it can be seen? This is not facing a main street, is it? It's in a parking lot.
It does face,
Escondido Boulevard?
yeah, yes.
So people will be driving fast, not as slow. Will it be seen if it's this light gray? I mean, we're spending quite a bit of money if we approve it.
If I could add to that, I mean, I love Burhan, the owner of Timekeeper. And I think, excuse me, I think Zane is an amazing artist, but we already have a mural there. There's lots of other places that I think we could put $15,000, in my opinion. And that is, as you're going by Escondido Boulevard and driving, it's about a half a block away. So, I mean, unless you're in the alley, you really don't notice it that much, but I have noticed the cow jumping over the moon and the time clock and all that. And it's,
I agree.
it's meaningful for the timekeeper. Why are they changing it?
I think they just wanted an updated mural.
Well, this doesn't say that to me.
You know, there's plenty of walls in downtown on Grand Avenue. I mean, that would be more visible. The idea is that they need to have exposure where people can actually see it and make an impact. I like the design. Maybe the location is not correct, not right.
Well, but it's by the timekeepers.
What about in the front
It's
of the
relevant
store?
to the store itself.
I will say, I also drive by this street a lot, and I would say this is actually a very visible wall. There's a lot of traffic there. I always notice the cow, and I think having a bigger mural would just make it more noticeable. And I do think this is a good update. It keeps in with the theme of the store, too. Yeah.
But no color.
I think he's probably just gonna repaint the wall. You said black and white, right? So bright white with black and dark gray, I think would be nice. I agree, I like it a lot.
So wait, so it would be a black wall and then this would stand it?
No.
The opposite, a white wall. And
A white wall, and I can ask him to, darken up again, this is, I'm sure this is just a concept. He just plopped this on the wall. It's computer generated. So we can ask him to darken up the lettering and just, like you said, make it a higher contrast so that you can see all these things a little bit better.
You know, something important, commissioners, that we need to talk, is that when we approve a mural, a design, I should say, we kind of want to expect that the final product is what we approved. And I think we have an experience with something that changed quite a bit. So if he could send another proposal, the same design, I love the design, just more contrast, would you be willing, commissioners, to wait and see, and he can send another one? And any comments about the price? How long is he planning to take to do this?
I can ask him. He didn't say in his application, but from his other work, I know he's very fast. So I would expect this would take him, a weekend or two.
Yeah. So what about the tab, 15,000? What do you think?
Seems a little high to me for not a very complex mural, though I really like it. I like he has a dimension with the clock, and you feel like time is passing. You can feel that movement in it. I do agree that it could extend a little bit further, and that no parking sign is distracting. If it could just move over maybe 15 feet. But I do feel the price 15,000 is somewhat high.
So can you go back to him and say if he would be willing to negotiate that? Also, the bushes right in front, the little ones, kind of cover the writing. What does it say? What?
Hidden Valley and.
Yeah, so those would have to be removed. I hate to remove green, but maybe planted somewhere to the right.
Okay. So I'll go back to him. I'll ask for a more detailed budget. Maybe he can tighten that up a little bit. A new rendering potentially going down to that
Sign.
the end of the wall there. and a new rendering showing maybe a little bit more contrast. Maybe he can put a splash of color in there too. Like the mural that exists currently, I mean, there's not much to it, in my opinion, but, you know, maybe just if he can put in a splash of color, maybe in the lettering or something that'll brighten that up, maybe, you know, you'll like that better.
He doesn't have to, it's just I think more contrast, that's all. And also when you're saying the end, don't change, this one really shows the mural, the wall. The mural committee said to where the sign, the parking, there is, the wall has some sort of a break there.
Yes.
That's what we talked to the end of, right.
Yes.
That's the end of, yeah.
And there is a box at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm wondering what that box is. Can we paint that out white to match the wall?
Make it disappear.
Yeah, I can ask him to do that as well.
I'm not sure
It's
what
a
it is.
utility box of some sort.
It's a utility box. Oh, there we go.
If he extends the mural to that break in the wall, would the palm trees pose an issue for the visibility?
I think, can you put back the mural, the design, the run? I think we were meaning to, you know how it has those floating things?
Just extend the.
Just extend a few of that little, yeah, so that it doesn't end.
And the reason why the other mural catches your eye is because it does have yellow that carries you from the beginning to the end of the mural. And that's what catches your eye when you're driving by. And I go back and I agree with what I'm hearing also, is that a tinge of color will help bring that to your attention when you're driving by. It doesn't have to be a bright yellow, but just something that's going to catch your eye.
And yeah, the utility box is right there.
Right.
Yeah, that can disappear. All right. Cool. We're getting a lot of murals. Wonderful. All right.
You
Then,
know, even looking at that, if you could come back to that, I'm sorry. If under Escondido, beautiful hidden valley could be there, it might, and everything is just a skosh smaller, you'd get everything in without moving greenery. Just a thought. And also the box you're talking about, that could that be a utility box project that would
I actually would just paint that white.
just paint it white?
Yeah, I would just.
Gonna make it disappear?
Yeah, same color as the background. The background's going to be repainted. The building's going to be repainted, is it? Or
Yes.
will that crack be repaired? Or is
That's not in
as
his
is?
proposal, no.
Okay.
You know, I was looking at that one utility box that had a succulent coming out of it. I mean, you know, that could be, I'm looking at 3-4 plants there too, so it was just a thought, but
It looks
Either way.
like there's, to me, it looks like the box isn't solid. I can see the color behind it. And so I'm thinking it's
I think
not solid, and so I don't know how we would do a picture on it.
I believe it's a metal mesh.
Yes,
So I think that they would just, if he would just paint it the color of the wall, it would just blend in.
yeah.
Sounds good.
I do like it, and I feel like I am a time traveler, in a way.
We should have a picture of all of us in front of it now, and then in a few years.
Or we're flying in the air somehow.
Get started that process as time goes by. All right. That's it? Let's move on then to the next one. Mural, is that San Diego County, what?
It's the San Diego Children's Discovery Museum, but I'm sorry, I meant to mention this at the beginning of the agenda. I need to remove this because we're not quite ready to present this to you all yet. She doesn't have a budget in place. So I can show you a quick sneak peek at the 2 murals that they are trying to decide between. One of these will end up coming back to you for funding, hopefully by the next meeting. Oh, no.
While you're finding that, is this a fixed mural that will stay permanently that we're going to?
That is one of our questions, because when she originally presented this, she said that it was going to be a temporary mural. So that's one of the questions that we're still trying to get an answer for.
I really enjoyed the change of the murals
I do
that they
too.
had
Yeah.
there. I found it interesting and fun and celebrating children in the museum. It's a wonderful museum for children.
Okay, folks, maybe I'm not going to show it to you.
It says that didn't work. Yeah. All right. Liaison report?
Okay. So really not much to report here in the liaison report. The two things I just wanted to touch base on were the vine henge. We had the repair, the sculpture out here, that's the play structure. We had a piece broken off. We have not moved forward with the artist yet to repair that. Our public works crew, there was a piece that was sticking off that was sharp. So we had them cut it off and they kind of capped either end. So that's where we are with that. We're not sure if we're going to move forward. I think, in my opinion, though, that was the repair. So it's, I have to get in touch with the artist and see how she wants to address it, but it looks lovely the way that it is. There's some blue tape on it out there. I have to go see what that's about, but I think that's not from us. I think someone probably put that on there. So I just wanted to give you an update on that we have taken off the piece that was loose. And like I said, they have like kind of smoothed the edges out so that when the kids are playing on it, and they've sealed it with like the varnish that was recommended by the artist. So it's in
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I don't know where is this. What are we talking about?
the grapes,
Oh, the grapes. Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's the vines, the climbing structure. So we'll see how we're going to move forward with that, but we have not entered into a contract with the artist at this point to repair it. The other thing, Escondido Alley Art Phase 2 went off a couple of weeks ago. I hope you guys got a chance to go down and see it. I heard it was a wonderful turnout. I was supposed to be there, but something happened last minute and I wasn't able to make it. But we have a staff person that has some art down there, so we were going there to honor her, and she's just really excited and thrilled to be exhibiting. It's a woman that works in our public works department. So beautiful, beautiful stuff going on down there. Phase 3 is coming. It was supposed to happen in October, and the last I heard, it's being pushed to early November for the unveiling. So we'll be waiting for that new exhibit.
And if you haven't seen it, go. It's different than the other ones because the pieces are not lined up like the other ones in the same height. These are different heights and different walls, so it's kind of interesting. So go stop by and take a look at it.
And then the last thing, we have a project that's kind of been ongoing. It's called Reflections on Downtown. And it is the sculpture that is going to go in the little triangular piece of land between where it splits off Grand and 2nd Avenue. And I just wanted to update that it hasn't moved forward. I think the artist that was originally doing the project, the funding source that they had lined up is no longer an option for them. So I think they're fundraising. I think they're trying to raise the money. I just don't know what their timeline is on that. I don't know how successful they've been. So as far as the city is concerned, that is kind of tabled on our end right now. We haven't funded it, so there's no money lost out of our pockets or anything like that. We were going to provide some in-kind services. There was a glare study that was required, so our engineering department was going to take care of that for us. But again, no financial commitment on our end. I just wanted to let you know that that project is kind of on hold for right now, and we'll see what happens in the future with that.
I would like to add to that. So they came with that proposal over a year ago. And at the time, I think, and commissioners, we got to see part of the prototype. Remember the top of it? It's very expensive. He needs $400,000 to make that project a reality. the interesting thing was that they came up with that project when we were ready to open a request for a proposal. And so we stopped because that's a prime, that little triangle is a prime area that basically is pointing toward the arch. It's like pre-arch and the entry to downtown. I'll tell you, one of the sculptures that is coming to Escondido with the Palomar Heights project is a beautiful sculpture metal, tall, beautiful, and it's not going to be more than $80,000. So what I'm basically saying is there's a space that we cannot do anything about it because we have this project for now tabled because they haven't raised the money. I think we should give them a deadline, honestly. I don't think we can just, So can anybody comment on that? They need help. They need help. They would like somebody to help them, maybe look for some grants and funding. I have no time, so.
I agree that we do need to put it on the agenda eventually, that we have a deadline. I'm wondering, did they ever do the glare study that the city was requiring?
No, the design has to be completed first.
So even if the funding came in, we're still a little bit behind because we have to do the glare study. Would the other one require a glare study?
No, the other one's not, but what are you talking about? The design needs to be done.
The engineering, they had conceptual designs, but in order to do the glare study, we need engineered designs. So I don't know what stage of design they're in now. So we could potentially, say the design is done, we could potentially do the glare study. However, if they don't have the funding lined up, we don't want to commit our money to a project that potentially could not happen.
Correct. Wasn't that $20,000 to do the glare study? That
Oh, something along those lines. Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
was willing to do the glare study. So I can't see going forward, like you said, with a glare study until that the funding is in order. So we're at a standstill, basically, at a prime spot, just like you're bringing up.
I think I'd like to propose maybe to postpone all the way to December, see if they could come up with some funding or matching funds, some sort. What do you think?
Did you mention 300,000?
400,000.
400,000.
It is extremely expensive because of the material, and
footing too.
Huh?
They have to drive down.
Oh yeah, it is.
footing.
Yeah,
It's a heavy project.
and there are big issues with the what you call the footing of a sculpture. What's the name for that? The bottom of pardon me? No, there's a special name. It's a French name. Anyway, yeah, it's very narrow, very tiny. It just doesn't go with the rest. So there's a lot of concerns. I would actually say let's give them until December to come up with some funding to show that there's a move toward. Otherwise, we drop it. What do you think?
Yes.
I agree.
Okay, so
I agree.
we need a motion. We need a motion? Do we need a motion for that? How do?
Seems reasonable.
Huh?
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, would you like to make a motion, Patricia? Just word it.
I will make the motion. Are we looking for financing as far as being a reasonable or a plan? What are we putting that deadline on?
They need to show progress with significant financing of the project by December.
What percent?
I would say at least half. Or 1/3. $400,000 is huge. And I have to say, we haven't seen ever a itemized.
Before we do that, could we have them come back next month to tell us the progress before we
I think
put a
that would be
deadline?
lovely. think that would be wonderful.
They have put a lot of time into it.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think that would be very fair.
Yeah, that would be very fair. And if they can bring an itemized, because we never saw anything. We just said 400 because he was bringing the financing. I mean, I even talked to James and said, maybe we can contribute. But when you're talking about almost $500,000, we are out. But maybe we could help somehow.
Okay, so instead, we'll just put it on future agenda to have them come back and give us an update, and we can talk about a deadline, funding, progress on the design, things like that there.
By November, the November
The
agenda.
November, December meeting, yeah, whatever. I think we're going
Yeah.
to talk about that later.
Yeah, that one. Okay, that sounds good. All right, we're moving to financial report.
Okay, so the financial report has been updated. You'll see that the new funding for the murals has been added. Also, the new projects. So the Queen Califia event space has been added, public art installation, which I said, again, is that kind of catch-all project so that we can, if things come up throughout the city, it's just a standard public art project fund that we can do any type of project with. And then the public art master plan for $85,000. So the only thing really I wanted to point out, the only place there's been any expenditures is the city mural project. That $16,000 is the first payment to the school district for the Washington Park murals, the California Center for the Arts for the Kenny Scharf mural, and then Tristan Petard's mural that's going to happen over on Kelmia. Since then, there have been a couple of other payments. The $11,000 to the DBA has gone out for Esco Alley Art. They got that. This is only through July 31st, so that's why you're not seeing it. That one actually I feel like should have been on here, but it's showing on the newer report. Tristan and Charlie, Tristan's second payment for his mural over on Kelmia has gone through, and Charlie Mejia, who's doing the mural over on Washington Park, has also received 2 payments for a total of $8,000.
What Calmia? What mural on Calmia?
The Sky Whale.
It's on Juniper.
Oh, I'm sorry, Juniper.
It hasn't started, has it?
He has started, he was supposed to start prepping the wall the week that we had our mural subcommittee meeting.
Did anybody see anything? It's by 7-Eleven.
It's blue. I saw a bright blue wall, and I don't think it was
Yeah,
blue.
it was red before, so he's prepping. Yeah, he's in the process.
Okay.
I have one question about the second Nikki budget. I'm not terrific at math, but I take 105,000 and subtract 71, and I should be.
Yeah, we'll correct that. I'm sorry. This is a Word document, so it didn't automatically update. So I just had the staff convert this to an Excel document, so we won't have those types of problems anymore, and I won't have to do math.
I could do that math.
Yeah, thank you.
So is Charlie's payments included here? Because it doesn't.
No, that's what I said. There's payments that have those ones I mentioned.
And then-
Tristan's second installment, Charlie's first and second installment, and the $11,000 for the Esco Alley Art have gone out. They've cleared the account, but they're not showing on here.
So Tristan already has received 2 payments,
Yes.
and he's in the priming process. That doesn't sound correct to me. I mean, priming it would be the first.
Well, there was preparation to the wall that he had to do,
Okay.
like repair work to the wall. He had to rent equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
A
a
picture of that?
I might from a previous meeting. I don't know.
Could somebody remind me what Charlie's is?
I have it right here. How can we?
I
I
might
have a. Can you? I think he put it on the projector there. Yeah. Because I just stopped by, and I think it was. No, I don't think that you guys were here. You know what? I can just show them. It'll be
Here,
easier.
I have it. I have it.
Charlie's?
Charlie's.
I think it was tagged.
I don't have it done, but this is what was proposed.
I don't think that's it. That's over on Washington.
This is.
Yes, this is Charlie's on Washington.
Oh, that is
Yes.
Charlie's in Washington.
yeah,
That's,
but it-
that's what it looks like.
So far, what he has is and so we don't get into, if you, and I think the last box.
She has a
okay,
different one there.
1, 2, 3, 4, is this, but he is at this stage, you know what I mean? This is a stage to get to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I just drove
He
by
has
today.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one, I think he got tagged. So he had to paint, yeah, seems like he had to erase it.
Sorry, thank you.
He should be complete, the mural should be complete by the next,
On Rose.
Washington, yeah.
Rose,
Yeah,
Rose, not
Rose,
Washington,
Rose.
Rose.
Washington and
It looks
Rose.
amazing because you can see it from Washington. You can see it as you drive. It's right there. You can see the students first on the park, and then immediately you can see Charlie. So it's going to be a really incredible impact, but something happened to the last one. So I don't know if it was tagged. So the number,
I meant the one on Juniper. Do
3,
you have
4,
a picture of it?
yes, probably.
yeah, you mean the whale?
What?
It's a whale. It's a whale.
It's a whale.
It's a mythical figure. It's not a real whale.
Back to the previous picture.
It's really beautiful.
There was a tree that was blocking it a little bit. Is that tree still blocking it?
Where?
When you approach it,
Which mural?
the last one you
The-
just showed. Rose?
No, there's no tree there.
Prior to it, when you're driving
I
by
don't know.
the swimming pool? Isn't that the one that borders up near the swimming pool?
Yeah, don't remember a tree. I have to go back. Check it. Go back
This
and check.
bottom limb blocks some of it when you're first coming up and approaching it.
I can't wait for have it done,
This
finished.
down here?
No, that doesn't.
No, it's prior. It's by the parking lot where you would park for the swimming pool.
Oh,
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think it's a huge issue really, if depending on where you're looking at it. But
if the trees are in the Washington Park parking lot, they will have to stay. There's a requirement for landscaping in our parking lot medians, and so it would be very hard to get those removed unless something was wrong with the tree.
Moving, it's just one bottom limb blocking.
yeah, we're in the process of actually planting more trees and creating more canopy.
Well, I think trees are wonderful.
Yeah. Did
So
you-
I'm sorry I don't have a picture of Tristan's mural, but it should be complete by the next commission meeting, and then I'll bring an update on any murals that have been completed between now and then.
He will complete it in a month? Is that what you
I
just-
hope so. I think that's what he mentioned at the mural subcommittee meeting.
If you drive Grant, if you're going home, just go by 7-Eleven and see what he has done. Yeah. I have a quick question. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's here. Oh, Escondido Creek Art. So we approved $50,000 or it was placed there. I don't even know if we approved that or not. What's happening with that? There's no movement on it.
The Creek Trail project is about to go out to bid for construction. So we have to construct the project before we can put any public art there. So the project, we just got bid documents in last week. We'll review those. I think we're hoping to get out to bid December, January, and then it will take probably 9 to 12 months to do all of the construction work. And then once that's done, we can bring in the public art. We need to time that appropriately because obviously we don't want to put any like
No.
murals, for instance, there that could then get damaged by any construction that's going to happen.
And when you talk about construction, what are you talking about? I mean, there's not a lot of I saw the original project. What construction are we talking?
So there's all new fencing going up on either side of the creek. There's new trail going in. There's DG trail going in on one side. Asphalt trail going in on the other side. There's lighting. There's a community garden. There are fitness courts. There are
That's a lot.
water fountains. Lots of landscaping.
So all of that needs to be done prior to.
Yes.
And it's starting all the way by the wild, not a wild animal park. What am I talking about? The animal shelter.
So the majority of the improvements will be downtown, Broadway to Midway, and then on the outskirts we'll be redoing the surface, so like the asphalt surface, and they'll be striped, and then there'll be in certain sections fencing, and certain sections the existing fencing will stay. But the majority of the improvements will be from Broadway to Midway.
Exciting.
Which makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. All right.
And it only requires $50,000?
For now.
Well, there's no project identified. This is just an account for us to hold. There's no project ready to go. Nothing's, so it could be a mural if we wanted to put a mural. It could be a sculpture. It could be something on the ground, a mosaic
Right.
design in the trail. We don't know what that is yet, but at the time, I'm not sure who this was. This has been funded for quite a while. So this was before my time. So I think it was probably just thought that, this is a good amount of money for an art project, but no specific project has been identified.
Do you know why it takes so long to get these things moving? I mean, I participated on this, and that was over 2 years, maybe 3 years, 3.5 years, something like that.
Well, the design is very intricate. I mean, they have to include all of the utilities and all of the road work and all of the, we've been in the design phase. We meet every single week.
On this, on the...
On the Creek Trail. Yeah.
If you haven't taken that trail, it's kind of fun to walk it. You can take it from, I'm trying to think, what is it?
Society.
Huh? The Humane Society takes you all the way to downtown, to the Grave Day Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good place to walk with somebody. All right.
I go alone. I go alone sometimes.
Don't go.
Yeah, I've done it alone too. Any other question regarding the budget and where it's going? Okay. Alrighty, let's move on then to mural subcommittee. So I think between you and I
just brought two pictures that I wanted to share that we just went over at the mural subcommittee. They're not murals that we'll be funding, so you guys won't have an opportunity to necessarily vote on them. They're funded through outside sources. One of them, one is another wall that Zane is doing, and it's in the back alley behind his business. And the other is one that the San Diego Charitable Foundation funded that was recently completed. They funded 3 murals. This one has started. The other 2 are in process. They have some issues that they're working out with business owners and things like that. But I'll show you that one first. That one is complete. Oh, if I can't open this.
an Orange Street, an Orange and
Yeah, so this is on 2nd and Orange. It's in the alleyway. It's basically behind SIP, if anyone is familiar with that establishment. So it's in the alley. This is the completed mural. They had the ribbon cutting or the grand opening this weekend. I'm sorry, I didn't know that they were having it, or else I would have shared that with you. But like I said, this is one of 3 that will be completed. Tristan, who we funded for other projects, he'll be doing one. And then a gentleman, Commissioner Velasco, do you remember his name? The gentleman that's doing the other one on Rose?
on Rose.
The same building.
Yeah, he's from San Diego. The design is fantastic. Not at the top of my head right now. If I remember before the end
So
of the
there's
meeting.
There's 2 more coming, but this is the first of 3 that's been completed, and they just opened it this weekend. So I just wanted you to see it, just so you're aware when you're out and about, or if someone asks you. That one was done this weekend. And then Zane's, again, it's kind of hard to see this because this is black and white, but this I do believe is going to be in color. Again, he's not asking for any funding from us. This is the building, this is the back side of, he has a storefront on Grand Avenue. And this is very much his style. It's very much, you know, graffiti-esque. It's kind of hard to see what's here, but you can see a radio, you can see his name in here. There's a street light. I have no doubt it will be beautiful. He's a very talented artist, and again, this is just a concept, but again, just wanted to make you aware that it's coming. We've put it through the mural committee. We've also let our public works team know because this does look very graffiti-esque, and we didn't want them to, by accident, paint over his beautiful work. So they're aware, and this, I'm not sure what his timeline is on this, but again, he's really fast. So I would be surprised if this isn't up already.
You know,
I just haven't been back there.
We haven't been able to meet him ever. I mean, because he was supposed to be in the mural committee. He never showed up. So I think I'm going to go to the store. Is he there? Is the store next to the municipal gallery? Yes. Yeah. But does he have a piece at the museum? Is the museum?
He has a piece in Escondido Alley Art. It's a rose.
No, but I'm talking about the museum. Does he have a piece in the street legacy?
Oh, I don't.
Did he have one there? So he had painted one like this in somewhere in Escondido, and it was so gorgeous, so gorgeous. Guess what? Guess what happened?
Zane is multi-talented. He does on Rosemary Duff's. He does those paintings there, and those are Instagrammable moments. He's painted this particular wall several times in the years we've been in Escondido, and it's always been tasteful. And I trust Zane's judgment. He loves Escondido, so.
Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, but with the color, you can see the color.
I really like his work. It's strong, it's industrial, it has movement. It's great use of space.
Yeah. And he has that style of. But the other one was beautiful, and somebody called it as graffiti, and it got painted over, and it was gorgeous. So now they need to call you, right? That's the thing. You don't paint unless I see it. So they need to take a picture and send it to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, please do. We can help you. All right.
That was all I had for the mural subcommittee. I don't know if you have anything to add, Commissioner Velasco.
So we talked about the process of the mural, and I don't know if you and I are ever going to meet, but kind of go over it, because sometimes it just takes way too long. Like, for example, Tristan was approved over a year and a half ago, and he's just prepping the wall. So we're trying to find ways to put deadlines and so on and so forth. So we talked about that. I also brought up some concerns that some of the commissioners had when we had that presentation on the wall facing Maple Plaza. Remember that mural that they brought to us? It was like a face of a woman with the hair. Mm-hmm. And then we didn't approve it because it cost $20,000 to just prep the wall. So I had a concern, and another commissioner mentioned it to me too, that I feel that we need to push for quality of work, and sometimes we need competition. So in this case, and that's something we need to talk as commissioners. So that wall, the artist came to us and said, we already talked to the owner, they agree on this, give us the financing, this is what we'll do. No competition there. I kind of would like to see this wall is available, and let's open it to a proposal, a project, and let's have them compete. Instead of being done, that's it. We get one proposal.
Was that, refresh my memory, was that the wall that I remember bringing up? I'm a little concerned that there's water damage. Once we start repairing it, we may be committed to much more expense.
Yes, that's the one.
By Jovitas, or, yeah.
That's the one.
Right.
And it's an important wall, because Maple Plaza, eventually we would like it to be a, active, public place where people gather. So a mural there would be awesome, but we want top-notch quality there. So
I agree competition breeds better art.
Yeah.
And, but still, my concern is what's behind the plaster that's starting to come off.
Can the city help Public Works?
Public Works, I don't think will be the solution to this. There is a facade improvement program which I shared with the artist, and I don't know if they've applied for that yet. It's through our Economic Development Department, or if they're going to apply for it. It really should be the owner that applies for it, not the artist. And that's the other thing with this particular wall, as far as a competitive process, it's really not up to us. It's their wall. If they came to us and said, hey, we really do want a mural, can you help us, you know, put out a call for artists or something like that, we could offer our assistance. But just like the San Diego Children's Museum, that's their building. They're responsible for that call for artists. They put it out. If they wanted examples, or if they just wanted some assistance with how do we start this process, we're happy to help them. But it's really going to be on them. We could approach them and say, hey, this is a perfect wall. You know, you had this proposal. Did you ever consider doing this, you know?
But the people that propose the mural are the artists, not the owners.
Right.
So
So what I'm saying, in a competitive process though, like you're wanting, the owner would have to take that initiative, not the city.
And Jovita, Tamales Jovita is there, right?
Yes.
So they rent the space. Okay, so I would like to talk to the owner. Yeah. Anyway. Anything else on that one? Anything else we had in the mural subcommittee?
I think that was everything.
Okay, yeah. I think we met with a couple of the artists, a couple of the muralists, and they share some of their concerns. All right, next one, Queen Califia subcommittee.
Okay, thank you. This past Saturday, second Saturday, it was closed because of the rain. Numbers have been increasing, but obviously with that, looking for more docents. The tour, Marty's giving another tour in a week or so. It's the Queen is becoming a destination. There's a group of people that are coming out for a class reunion, Midwest, and this was on their bucket list of things to see. So it is something that people who know Nikki want to see what we have here. The event circle is, I'll let Danielle talk a little bit about that. I didn't see it on the financial page, but it's there somewhere.
Yes.
Did I miss it? I
No,
looked.
it is there. I think.
Yes. Third from the bottom.
You know, I saw it, yeah, just disappeared. Thank you. Okay. And it is there to accommodate visitors. It's a great source of income for revenue, which will help maintain the garden. So excited to do that. And Danielle, you had said something about a meeting we're going to have to discuss the system and the docening and just to update things so we're all on the same page, plus talking about the event circle. So basically, I'll turn it over to you if you have anything else to say.
Yeah, just two things. The event circle, yeah, we haven't made any progress on that yet. We did put out a call or an RFP for the design, and we got no responses, which I think I told you at the last meeting. So we've had lots of conversations with our Public Works Department, and we are going to try to have them build this project. So we just need to, next steps are to get with our Public Works crew that would be responsible for this, talk this out. So we'll be setting a meeting hopefully very soon with Commissioner Span, Marty Tiedemann, who's also on the subcommittee, and then our Public Works crew that will be making the decisions on that project, and develop a plan of action to move forward.
I have a question about, you said it might fall back on Public Works.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, I know there's something about prevailing wages, putting out something, so does that, it would probably even come out, if we can't find anybody to do it and they're doing it, would that mean that it might be a little less than, less than bidding it out?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a cost savings having our staff build the space. So we're looking at potentially, pouring a concrete pad that's large enough to host events, fundraisers, weddings, things like that, and then some type of cover for it. We've looked at kind of some pre-made things. Not sure what material we want that to be, probably some type of steel. So we've done a little bit of preliminary work, but we haven't made much progress on it. But we are slowly chipping away at it, and we'll try to keep that moving forward as fast as we can.
Where is it going to be?
Adjacent to the sculpture garden, Queen Califia. So if you're looking at the sculpture garden, it will be to the left.
There's some orange trees there, I think. Have you considered a tenting, like a tent structure that you can remove, because depending on the event, I don't know.
We did originally talk about that. So just putting in basically a large concrete pad with maybe some bench seating around the perimeter, and then having it so that it's not a set cover. So it could be as informal or as formal of an event space as you want it to be. If you want to have a wedding, you could bring in the beautiful white tents. If you want to have a birthday party, you could just bring in a simple pop-up. So that's kind of still up in the air too. I mean, I'm kind of leaning more towards a permanent structure, but I think it will come, ultimately, I think it will come down to the cost.
Right, right. I have a question for Queen Califia Education. There's $28,000 there available. Only $990 have been spent. Have you guys moved on that? It used to be that third graders were bused to Queen Califia as part of their social study community studies, but that, well, we had COVID. But have you guys talked about that? Because there's money for education there. Maybe if you can put it for your next committee. Busing is expensive, super expensive, so I don't know if you want to spend on that kind of money. It might be cheaper to just have docents coming to, the same docents coming to the schools and give a presentation, if they're willing to do so. Mm-hmm. And they did that in the past, by the way. Yeah. Okay?
Good ideas. I'll bring it up to Marty.
Yeah. Okay.
The other thing I wanted to add is in the past we've talked about selling merchandise, Queen Califia merchandise, and we've looked into it. We did get our online donation system set up, so now we have the QR code. People can just scan it. They can donate right from their phone, from the convenience of wherever they are, whenever they are. So that we did get done. As far as the merchandising goes, I just had a meeting with our economic development department, our Visit Escondido. They handle the Visit Escondido website, and we're really trying to, I guess, revamp that. And one of the things they want to do is start to sell, like, potentially City of Escondido merchandise. And so there needs to be like a third-party organization that handles the financial side of that, the e-commerce side of that. And so they're looking into that, and I said, this is a perfect opportunity for us to piggyback on what you guys are doing and finally bring in Queen Califia merchandise, and, hopefully bring this plan to fruition, because I don't know how we weren't sure how we were going to do it. We were looking into it. We were going to partner with the museum, the Center for the Arts. But if they're already going to be doing this, I think it's a perfect opportunity. So I've connected our economic development folks with the folks from the foundation, the Nikki de St. Phal Foundation, because they will have to ultimately have approval of anything that we sell. They're very concerned about quality control, so they'll want to see, if we're not selling items that are already in their inventory, they'll want to see them, they'll want to approve them. So I've connected them today, and she seemed very receptive to it. Her name is Yana, and we'll see where that goes. But it's pretty exciting if we'll be able to. I don't know if we'll still be able to have merch on site at the Queen, but at least it's a first step that maybe we can have an online store where people can at least go from their phone and purchase something there. But ultimately, we would love to have things on site for the visitors that are there they can purchase a T-shirt or a mug or something like that. So that is hopefully moving forward.
Yeah, the QR is already huge. Just having that, because you remember way back then, people would give us money. Here, take $5, $10, and we didn't know what to do with the money. So this is fantastic. Yeah. All right. Any items from commissioners for now?
I have one, and I don't know how to bring this together, if it's even, as we enter this phase of our public art master plan, it seems like so many times the DBA doesn't know what we're doing, Magic doesn't know what we're doing, that's
huge.
So even the city sometimes doesn't know. I think it would be good to present to them. Somehow to bring, whether it's have them have a representative to our meeting, or I was going to the DBA meetings just because we are downtown, but it's informative, and we just need, in my mind, I think having that might bring some cohesive plan together quicker.
So I think that'll be the group of people that are going to be participating with me in those like kickoff meetings and everything. I think that's going to be one of the focuses of the first meeting, to see who we need to talk to, who do we need to include, who do we need to bring to the table. I mean, we ultimately obviously want to have cast a wide net, and we want everyone that wants to be involved, the general public. But there's obviously key stakeholders that we're going to need: the DBA, the Chamber of Commerce, the business owners downtown. So in one of those meetings, we'll be probably brainstorming. And if we miss somebody, I mean, we'll have plenty of opportunities, but that will be part of our planning process when we meet with the
Just thought I'd mention it. Thank you.
consultant.
And I think this has been a concern we had prior, where the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. Remember when they came from the Downtown Business Association and they asked for money for a, what was it? 150,000 for we said no, it was a lot of money. It wasn't an art piece. But anyway, I think that's a problem that will continue after the master plan. We need to know what is development is doing, what are they thinking. Can we be part of that? Can they know? Yeah, so hopefully the master plan will help, but it's an ongoing problem.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that's something that they can help us with.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of these master plans. They've worked with a lot of cities, and they can tell us best practices. How do we keep the communication open? How do we make sure that everybody knows what's going on? How do we, that's one of the goals of this plan, is to have that.
Yeah. I think
transparency, I guess, I can't think of a better word, but.
They had a meeting, I don't know if you attended, and it was all the commissions. All the commissions were present. Were you able to attend? I wasn't here, but I thought that was a great idea, to talk to other commissions to see what's going on and what are they doing, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And future agenda items. So for the next one, we have the Light Up the Way. That's called, right? It's called Light Up the Way?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I called it Reflections on Downtown.
I know, it's Light Up the Way.
No, it's Lighting the Way, yeah.
Lighting the Way, yeah. I love that, whatever name you give it, Reflections or Expressions. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's awesome. Light Up the Way. Anything else for next one?
The Center City Parkway sculptures.
Okay. And I think we need to discuss, and it has to do with murals. Have you seen the mural on the museum side that we approved? The side facing, yeah. Have you seen it? Everybody has? You guys need to see it. It's right there, maybe before you go home. My concern is that we approve something else, completely different. This is a personal opinion, only me. I'm speaking for Ana Marie Velasco. I'm not happy with it. I like the idea of the orange tree. I think it's fun and funky and all of that. I don't like what he did with the space in between. To me, it's like an afterthought. he had a lot of space to fill in, and he did that kind of colored. So I think we need to talk about if we approve a mural and we approve A, then we need to see A. So we need, okay? Yeah, so let's,
So I think that's language that we need to incorporate into the mural policy.
yes.
So it's not, I don't believe there's anything in there about changing the mural. There is language in the utility box painting policy that states that. So I think that's just another thing we're gonna, as we're looking at our mural policy, and it's an ever-changing document and just hopefully getting better and better, that's something that we need to add in there. We haven't seen that with any of our other murals. We've gotten what we were told we were going to get. I don't know. You know, he was a pretty big artist.
He was a pretty big artist, and it was a very little amount of money we pay for it. So those two things together happen. Okay, and if nothing else, then we adjourn. No?
Didn't you want to discuss the next meeting?
Oh, yes, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Commissioners, would you mind if you can look at your calendars, if we could move the next meeting, which was supposed to be November 14, to November 28, same time. It's right after Thanksgiving, so I don't know if you are planning to be somewhere else, and will you be back by that Monday? You want to see?
The other option would be to move the meeting forward. And I only say that because if we're having Zane bring his mural back, the sooner the better, probably. So I don't know if we could move the meeting forward into November? No, I'm sorry, October?
Oh,
It will be a special meeting, so it could be any day, really. What we can do is, if you want to look at your calendars, if you could all let me know, maybe I can throw out a couple of dates, and you guys can all let me know when you're available, and then we'll finalize a date. I'll maybe put a couple before it and maybe a couple after it.
I already know that I'm away in Oregon seeing my daughter till October 5th. I get back.
yeah, but this would be toward the end, right? Toward the end of November? I mean, of October?
Yeah, probably the 24th would be a good date.
Mm-hmm.
Puts a little bit of time between this meeting and that.
I
If,
may not be here. I may be in Pennsylvania.
yeah.
I'm not 100% sure yet.
So can we send a few, I'm proposing for the 28th, which is 2 weeks after the regular meeting in November, or it could be the 5th of December, or it could be in October also. I may be gone on the 24th, yeah.
At October?
The 17th, I could.
When are you going to be going?
I think if we get a few dates, it'll
Yeah.
probably be better.
Yep, I'll send a few dates to you all.
Good idea. Okay. Thank you so much. So I think now we can adjourn, right?
Yes.
It is 4:36 and the meeting is adjourned.